better.
Wait, you want me to do it again? I'll do it again.
Yeah,
Hold on. I got this. Wait, okay. Wait. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt, also known as the Survivor Guy. And today, we're tier ranking Survivor seasons. Want to know what you're playing for? The best tier rank ever.
They're playing for
Cut
it?
that. Cut that.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt, also known as the Survivor Guy, and today I am going to be ranking every single season of Survivor 1 through 50 to figure out which one is the best one overall. And because my opinion is going to be very biased, I have my girlfriend off camera who is going to be checking me every step along the way to make sure that I give you the most accurate tier list on the internet. Alright, so one of those intros will probably be good. So yeah, like I said, we've got a tier list here. Survivor seasons 1 through 50. We're going to be talking about them, giving our opinion, giving our explanation for what tier, and to help us kind of go through this in a very efficient way, we've got a little bit of whiskey that we're going to be sipping as we go along. So if things go off the rails around season, 41 or so, that's why. Alright, so since we are going in order, we're going to start with season 1, Survivor Borneo, and I feel like we can't really put this any lower than A tier. I feel like that'd be disrespectful to like the start of the entire franchise. I don't know what your thoughts are, but...
I don't know. Because I think if you watch it back, if you've watched like modern seasons of Survivor and you watch it back,
it's
you're going to be
dated.
really frustrated with
it's
how no
slow.
one's playing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of... The good thing about season 1 is you can see the game start, right? Because the first few episodes, there's like not a lot going on, but then you can see Richard Hatch like literally developing the game of Survivor as the season goes on.
I agree with you. I really like it. I don't know if I might put it B though.
B.
Think of all the seasons of Survivor.
There are a lot of seasons that are better.
The other A's that it's going to be sharing room with, I think, are going to eclipse it. So
That's fair. That's fair. All right. I'll settle on B.
with lots of respect.
Yes. Like a high B.
Yeah.
High B. All right. Australian Outback. I feel like this is also B.
I love this season.
She's a big Colby fan, so yeah. I mean, again, it's kind of like if you go back from watching Modern Survivor, it's a little bit slower. For some reason, it's 42 days instead of 39, which I think is the only season that does that.
I think maybe Africa was also longer.
Was it? Maybe I'm getting those two confused.
If it's not, cut that out. My argument to season 2 being better than season 1, I think, is that you already set the scene for like Survivor season 1 was a huge hit. Survivor season 2, you get a good mix of people that saw season 1, really wanted to do it, really wanted to improve upon the game, and you also have even the beginnings of that parasocial aspect that season 1 didn't know they were setting, but you have Jerry Manthe at the end, and she gets a ton of hate, and you have the whole thing with the reunion, and it's almost creating like this entire Survivor community that I think like really started with this season. So that's why like I really love it, and I do think the personalities were even better than season 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly say they're more memorable. I mean, season 1 may have more memorable moments. I mean, the speech at the end. Snake to eat the rat. I mean, legendary. But I think if we're talking about like overall well-rounded personalities, I feel like you had a lot more, I guess, stereotypes you could say, where like Colby was like the challenge beast, and then you had the villain in Jerry, and you had like the mom and Tina.
She wasn't even a villain. She's misunderstood.
At the time, she was a villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, in current Survivor, definitely not. She was on the villains tribe, but that's 18 seasons ahead of where we are now. So but I think we're probably safe to put it in B tier with Borneo. Is that also a high B? You want to put it in A?
I don't know.
I feel like high B is good.
Okay, put it
for the same reason you wanted Borneo and high B.
Put it ahead of.
Okay.
Of Borneo.
Okay. I feel like personally, Survivor Africa is below season 1 and 2. I don't know if I'd put it a full tier below, but for me, I don't think it was as entertaining. I think there were more people in Africa that I disliked. You know?
Who did you dislike?
Like, I can't even remember their names.
I mean, can we look
there was like that
there was
that military guy that was like really annoying.
Big Tom.
No, Big Tom was great. I love Big Tom. But there are a bunch of people that like I didn't particularly care for in Survivor Africa, and I feel like I can't really say that about the first 2 seasons.
And this is the point, right? Is like what we remember.
Right, and I guess that's another reason that I would consider it below season 1 and 2 is because we're going based off of the impact that it left on us, as well as like objectively how good it is, and I feel like I don't remember the details of Survivor Africa as well as I do the seasons that surround it. So I feel like for me, in order for something to be like a really good season of Survivor, it needs to be really memorable, and I feel like a lot of what I remember from the cast of Survivor Africa is from what they did in other seasons. Like I feel like I remember Lex in All-Stars a lot more. I remember Big Tom in All-Stars a lot more. I remember Ethan in All-Stars a lot more. Like I feel like I don't really remember specific moments in Survivor Africa that like stand out as much as other seasons.
I'll tell you what I remember and what I like about this season. I thought that it was the landscape was super cool. They really haven't done a season like that.
Gabon. That was in Africa. They had elephants.
Okay, then whatever. I forgot about that. But like, it was the first time they did it. I don't ever remember, like, one moment that sticks out to me is they're in the lion-proof shelters, and they're watching the lions and watching the eyes at night, and they can't sleep, and they're in the mosquito nets. And yeah, that's a really memorable moment, but it has nothing to do with gameplay. Right. It's more like it was a really dramatic scenery.
A lot of the early seasons did have less to do with the gameplay and more to do with the environment. So I think that's still a fair point to make, that like the environment of seeing these people in Africa is a lot more memorable than your average tropical island that all kind of looks the same. No shade to Fiji. I love Fiji when I went there, but they all kind of look like beaches. All right, so what are we thinking? B? They're all going to be B. 1 through 50, all B.
Well, we just love Survivor. I feel like that's the problem. Okay. This is tough.
I feel like it's B.
We might have to readjust later.
Yeah, we can adjust later.
I feel like it's also B.
Good, but yeah, all right, B. All right, season 4, Survivor Marquesas, our introduction to Boston Rob. Which, like, that's a positive, except that he barely... Did he make the merge? He was gone. Either he didn't make the merge, or he was, like, the first one out the merge. He didn't make the jury.
I think he was, like, first out after the merge.
Yeah, which was unfortunate. But I feel like outside of that, the season isn't super memorable.
I would
don't know
agree.
What your thoughts are.
I remember... What do I remember? I mean, I remember liking Kathy. There was, like, some fun moments where there was one tribe kind of, like, dominating the other, and then it ended up being 4 people. And it was Kathy, Pascal, the blonde girl, I can't remember her name. Malia. And then another person. And, they, like, won several challenges in a row, even though the other tribe had, like, several more people. I remember that being exciting.
New era be like.
Yeah. I remember... I feel like maybe the ending, I don't know if it was controversial at the time, but Vesepia was like a huge flip-flopper, and she won.
Yeah,
and that's a good way to win,
strategy.
but a lot of people weren't winning at that time, so she was kind of the first winner that did that, which was interesting. Because you have... I mean, it's only season 4. There weren't a lot. There wasn't a huge sample size, but... You have Richard Hatch, and you have Tina, and you have Ethan, who were all in, like, dominant alliances.
Yep.
But yeah, I think out of the first 4, this one's the weakest for me.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking C tier.
Yeah.
Okay, we agree. We agree on that one. I think this next one's going to be pretty easy. I'm just going to, Thoughts?
Do we even need to talk about it?
I don't think we do. I mean, I will just say this as my evidence. This is the only season of Survivor that I could not finish. I watched, I think, up until the merge, and then I just couldn't take it anymore. So I've seen every single episode of Survivor, some of them multiple times, but I have not seen the second half of Thailand because it was just that bad.
Yeah. Maybe least satisfying win of a winner ever.
I didn't watch that far.
The 2 options at the end were terrible, and Brian Hendrick, is that his name? Brian
Head Dick.
Wait.
Head Dick. Dickhead. Brian Dickhead.
There's no way that's his name.
I'm pretty sure that's his name. Chat, is that his name? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, like and subscribe. See, that's how you YouTube.
Hi, Dick.
Hi, Dick? Is that it? Okay.
And everyone was like, we hate the other guy. He's a misogynist. He's a racist. We can't vote for this guy.
Who was the other guy? Clay. Oh, the old man.
Yeah.
The guy that got choked out in the one challenge.
Yes, by Rob. That was the best part of the season. just really like unsatisfying. Like, just did not make you feel good at the end. That was my lasting impression. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, same way I just immediately moved Thailand into the F tier. I feel like I can immediately put the Amazon into S tier. I feel like it's one of the most underrated seasons. Like, people like it, but it's never talked about as one of the best seasons ever. And it's one of my favorite seasons ever. I mean, we talked about, like, in season 1, Richard Hatch kind of, like, making the game, and I feel like season 6 is, like, the next evolution with Rob Sesternino, like, really just kind of, like, puppeteering the entire thing. But on top of just the gameplay being fantastic, the personalities were fantastic, and by personalities, I'm mostly talking about Rob.
No, there are a lot of other good ones in there, though. The way that they split up this is the first time they split up the guys and the girls.
Yes.
They had 2 different tribes, and obviously that plays in a lot. It's very funny, like the battle of the sexes. The guys are like being super thirsty.
This casting was great. Intentionally, in the guys versus girls season, they found the horniest group of guys that they possibly could, and I think that just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I love it. I think we talked about this before, but if we had like a friend that like was interested in getting into Survivor and didn't know which one to start with, and they weren't big into like reality TV or even challenges, like this would be a great one to recommend.
Yep.
Just because it is so funny.
Yes. Fantastic season. Speaking of fantastic seasons, Pearl Islands I think is going to join the Amazon up there in the S tier. This is the first season of Survivor that I ever saw, and I was one of those people, as you mentioned last time, that had never seen reality TV and had no interest in reality TV, and I only watched this because you wanted me to watch it with you. And after that first episode, I was like, oh, this Rupert guy is pretty funny, I'll keep watching for him. And then I think it was, I don't remember what episode, with the dead grandma lie, and I think that was the moment I got hooked, and I was like, alright, this show's actually pretty damn good.
That was way later, I think.
Yeah, that was like late in the season, but yeah.
Post-merge.
Yeah.
That's one of the best scenes, and I know that they did another reason why I love live reunions, and we won't get into that, but when they do like these are the hottest survivors and like these are the best moments, when they did the one of the best Survivor fights, and it's like Rupert almost killing Johnny Fairplay after he lied about his grandma. That's such a good moment.
Yeah, I mean, as much as like everyone hated him, like he really made that season. Like there was that fight, there was him with Sandra, and she was like, I can get loud too, like screaming at him, like that's what, and I feel like I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, so I'm gonna have to edit this down, but that's what Survivor is missing nowadays. You need like the strong personalities that like clash so that you have someone to root for and someone to root against. You can't have like kumbaya every single season where everyone loves each other and like it's like camp. You need a little bit of adversity in there to like really like get you invested in a season. And I feel like this season is really great at getting people invested because you've got such like a very clear group of people that you really want to win with like Rupert and Sandra, and you got a very clear person that you hate and you want to lose really, really badly with Johnny Fairplay.
Agreed. I think it's good to have a villain and a hero for sure.
Yeah.
But memorable moment from this season, they actually go into a village at the beginning with money,
yes.
And they have to buy supplies, and Rupert stealing the shoes.
Yeah, and
Great
Sandra
moment.
speaking Spanish and being able to negotiate with that one woman that was like into the other woman. I don't really remember a lot about that, but yeah. I mean, I think that kind of goes with why is this S tier? You had great gameplay, you had great personalities, and you had very memorable moments. And it's like, what else do you want from a season of Survivor? Alright, Survivor All-Stars. I think this is where our opinions might differ from general consensus. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up in S tier, and I think you're gonna agree with me on that one, right?
I do agree. This was a huge deal. It was a huge deal at the time, I know. It was also a huge deal for me in 2020 when I was sitting on my couch watching it. It was unbelievable. I was freaking out. There's so many good moments from this season, and obviously Boston Rob really shines in this season. And he's an excellent player, and we both love him.
I know we're gonna get some shit for that, I'm sure.
I don't care.
People hate
Literally
him,
go fuck yourself. You can believe that.
I mean, this is exactly what I said about Pearl Islands, right? You got great gameplay, you got big personalities, you got memorable moments. Same thing for All Stars. I mean, one of the best casts, in my opinion, ever assembled, right? Like, it lives up to the name. There are a few sneaks in there, I would say, but I mean, for the most part, everyone's an all-star. Everyone's a huge personality. You've got the memorable moments. I mean, Boston Rob and Lex, like that huge fight. Everyone talks about like in Marquesas, that was when Boston Rob was like quoting The Godfather. But do you want to talk about playing like The Godfather? I mean, we talked a lot about Rob Cesternino in season 6, like kind of evolving the game and making like the next stage of how the game should be played. And we talked a lot about Sandra's strategy in Pearl Islands and how that was like a whole new evolution as to how the game could be played. I mean, you want to look at how Survivor is played the next 20 seasons, well, you're going to look at season 8 and you're going to look at how Boston Rob played the game. And that's just how everyone kind of strives to play the game later on, especially now in like the current era of Survivor.
It's also a really good lesson. As good as Rob is, it's a good lesson on how not to play the game,
Jury
which is also
management.
just as instructive. Jury management is super important, and people in seasons following this can learn from that. And jury management becomes this huge idea, which I think before it wasn't. It was kind of like take someone that's really hated and hope for the best, or just like get to the end and hope for the best. And it did work for some people, obviously, but really good jury management gets kind of formed after this.
So basically, it's an S tier, and you can bite me. I don't care what you think. Alright, so going along with the theme of pissing a lot of people off, we have Survivor Vanuatu, and I don't like this season. I thought it was very boring. It's not as bad as Thailand, where I couldn't finish it, but I think it's the season that took me the longest to get through, just because I didn't really want to watch it. I don't know what your opinion is.
Yeah, I think some of that could be affected too by like the come down from All Stars, and we did watch them in succession. We didn't have to wait a year because we weren't watching it live. So I can see some of that playing into it. Did they do another girls and guys celebration
was,
again?
yeah.
Yeah, so they did another girl and guys
They just
celebration.
didn't get the horny people, so it wasn't as good.
It wasn't as good. It's really funny that the guy, Chris, that we thought was going to be voted out literally the first episode ends up winning.
I was so sure after the balance beam incident, I'm like, this guy is going immediately. And then
Yeah.
he won like crazy.
I think
But
it
it's-
was really frustrating. If people were rooting for him, then I guess it would have been exciting. We were not, so it was really frustrating to see him like continuously get saved.
It seemed like the type of thing where like he was being strung along because nobody respected him, and then somehow he got strung along to the end and won because he was there with somebody that they respected less. And it's just, for me, to have a good season of Survivor, I feel like the people that are playing are super important, and I think you need a lot of good personalities, and I just found a lot of the people in Vanuatu to be boring. Like, I feel like the few that did return were a lot more interesting in their returner seasons than they were in their original season.
But yeah, this season, like whether it was for us, obviously this is
It was
just our.
not for me.
Yeah, I mean like whether it was just like a bad come down from All Stars for us or whatever, but obviously again, these are just our opinions. This is the last time I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna be reading any of the comments, so I'm not gonna know if you guys
I'll
are
be
fun-
reading the comments,
if
and
you
I'm
guys are
used to it.
assholes,
So,
then
oh, they are.
I will not. But yeah.
I'm D tier or F tier?
I'd say D.
D. Okay. I don't know if anything's gonna be F tier other than Thailand.
Yeah, because
but-
all seasons of Survivor are good. That's the
Yeah.
thing, except for Thailand.
Except for Thailand.
But like, Survivor just is good on its own.
Yeah, but Vanuatu is not great. Survivor Palau, that was Stephanie's season where she
Oh.
ended up on the tribe by herself.
Wait, that's 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then. But yeah, I think this season was really good. I'm kind of thinking we might need to adjust some of our.
I don't know. For me, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking C.
Oh.
I like, it's an okay season. I feel like it kind of rides on the fact that like we have a tribe of one. That's a wacky thing that's never happened. Like, I feel like the gameplay was a little bit predictable. Like, Tom was just like winning everything the whole time, and then he won the game. And like there were some like decent personalities. Like Tom was cool, Stephanie was cool. If this is the season, if I'm remembering correctly, with Rocky, where he was calling Jeff up on the Jeff phone, that was cool. But like other than that, I don't know. It's not super memorable in my mind. It wasn't. I don't have like super fond memories of it the same way I do like season 1 through 3. You know.
What's the other one in C? Marquesas?
Marquesas. I'd say it's on the same level as Marquesas in my mind. So that's why I'm thinking C.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine
Okay.
with me.
Guatemala, I think I would put in C or D, honestly. I don't like Guatemala that much. I feel like I enjoyed Stephanie a lot more in Palau than I did in Guatemala. There was that weird screaming match that was a little homoerotic between Bobby John and that other guy. That was weird. There was that guy named Judd who I didn't really like. there was that one guy who got really, really paranoid and got voted out because he was just being weird. Like, I feel like there were a lot of people that weren't. There was the football player who found the very first immunity idol. That's something we can say about Guatemala. First hidden immunity idol. It was a little overpowered in the fact that you could play it after the votes were read. But, I don't know. I feel like Guatemala didn't really have a lot going for it in my mind.
I remember liking the season, but I feel like I just like Survivor, so I have to separate that.
Yeah. All of them are S tier.
And I'm not like a Survivor critic, so I don't know. I think like C or D is fine with me. Did you want C?
I mean, I think I do like it more than Vanuatu, but I definitely like it less than Palau and Marquesas. And I feel like the distance between Guatemala and Palau and Marquesas is greater than the distance between Vanuatu and Guatemala, if that makes sense.
Okay, put it in D then.
Okay, but I'm going to put it high D.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this one? Oh, Panama. I had trouble reading the thing. Exile Island. See, I think you said you didn't know what was going to go in A tier. I feel like this one's A tier.
I agree.
Okay. I mean, the personalities. You think about the amount of returners and the amount of people that should be returners. I still feel like Shane. Why is Shane not come back? Bring back Shane.
Shane could still come back.
Yeah, but season 50, where the hell was Shane? But I mean, you've got Suri. You want to talk about evolving the game. I don't think I need to say anything more. I mean, Terry and Aris, the two of them, they're like butting heads the whole time. Like, that was like an entertaining rivalry.
Terry, yeah.
Yeah. Talk about the twist of Exile Island. That came back how many times, right?
That was a good twist.
And I think this is like the first like major twist, right? The first recurring twist. I mean, outside of the Hidden Immunity Idol, right? They had people come back into the game in Pearl Islands, which I guess technically they did with Edge of Extinction, just in a different way. But I think Exile Island is the first like major twist that was brought back many, many times in like other seasons.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but like I feel like I could take or leave Exile Island.
Yeah, I think it worked a lot better in the earlier seasons where Exile Island was kind of like a double-edged sword in the fact that you didn't want to go there, right? You're excluded from all of like the social things that are going on at camp, but there's the benefit of that's where the Hidden Immunity Idol was. That's where you get a clue for the Hidden Immunity Idol. So it was kind of like a risk to go there because obviously you're on your own, you're not going to eat, you're going to struggle, you miss a lot of the important social game that's going on, but you could get some kind of advantage, right? You could get a clue to the idol, you could get the idol itself. And I feel like that's kind of lost in later seasons where you can get an idol anywhere or an advantage anywhere and there's still Exile Island. But I think early on I liked it a lot more as a twist.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I think that's a good A tier. That was a very good season.
Speaking of A tier, Cook Islands, I feel like we also got to put in A tier. I mean, again, think of all the returners. I don't know if this is a statistic, but I feel personally like Cook Islands produced the most returning players out of any season. That's probably not 100% accurate, but it's definitely up there. I mean, Jonathan Penner played, 3 times? Ozzy played 5 times. Who else? We've got Yule played twice, he won. Candace played 3 times. Parvati, how could I forget Parvati played 3 times. She won twice. I have 4 times if you're including Australian Survivor.
Won twice?
Oh no, 5 times. She played Winners at War. She won Australian Survivor. And she won.
She won once
Micronesia.
US.
Yeah. Well, you're opening a very, very big can of worms with that statement right there. I'm gonna say she won twice.
Okay. Love Parvati.
Yeah.
I've never seen Australian Survivor, so I can't comment, but she is definitely a winner and an amazing game player. So, no, yeah, I agree. Honestly, like, I feel like at the time, I don't know, I didn't watch it at the time, but I think splitting it up like that was like an interesting dynamic. Survivor, like, in seasons before this too, has kind of played with those different dynamics, like girls versus boys and stuff like that. So I don't think, and I feel like it proved, if it was trying to prove anything, I think it proved what it set out to do, which is it doesn't matter what your race is.
Right.
Like,
but
everyone can be good at Survivor. Like.
Yeah, I think the problem is it could have gone a very different way.
Yeah. But I think, like, it's an enjoyable season to watch.
100%.
And the thing is, too, like, I think it added in a lot more diversity because they did that.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean,
that's a good thing.
At the time, it was definitely the most diverse season. It was probably the most diverse season for a very long time.
Yeah. I agree. It should be A.
Alright, Survivor Fiji. I feel like this one's a bit lower. I don't remember it as well, especially after like 2 very good seasons. I remember Yao Man. Love Yao Man. Big fan.
Yeah.
I remember he had a deal with that guy whose name I don't remember, where he gave him the car and he was supposed to give him Yao Man immunity in turn for receiving Yao Man's car, and then he went back on that deal, and that's, I think, what ultimately lost that guy the game. So I remember that, but outside of that, couldn't tell you. I mean, I remember Earl. He won.
Earl won.
Yeah, I was gonna. But like outside of the three of them, who else was on this season? No idea. Do we have any returners from this season? Yao Man, I think, is the only one.
No, Yao Man. I swear he was like building stuff.
Was he building? I think he was building stuff. Now that you mention that, I think he didn't make a fake idol. Did he make a fake idol? I do remember somebody making stuff. I don't know if that was Yao Man or not, but I think that kind of goes with my case of like Fiji is not a memorable season because we can't even remember if that was his thing or not. I know his thing was being funny. I thought he was funny. Did he also build stuff? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. I would say like...
I'm thinking D. Yeah. I think we got another A here. Survivor China. I think that's a very high A for me.
You like this season more than I do.
You really? I mean, again, like think about the personalities, right? James is great. Todd is a fantastic winner. Amanda played 3 times, almost all in a row, because she's great. Courtney is fantastic. Yeah. Denise, the lunch lady who couldn't eat the egg, the whatever, and she like screamed at it.
I forgot about
like, come on, this season's fantastic. James got voted out with 2 idols.
Yeah.
Jean Robert was like annoying as hell, and then Todd, in his final tribal speech, even though Jean Robert was so pissed at him, was like feeding into his ego so perfectly that he got his vote. Like I was saying before, like, what do you need for a great season of Survivor? Great personalities, great gameplay, memorable moments. I mean, Survivor China. I'm hesitant. I'm thinking between A and S.
I'm thinking A, and okay. I do agree. Like a lot of the things you said jogged my memory. I do think it was really cool hiding the idol in plain sight. It being like on the sign and something you had to take off. That was a super cool little twist. And I don't know, I have like a vivid memory of Courtney sitting on top of a barrel.
She won immunity in that challenge.
And just winning because she was just so light at the time.
Yeah.
And
no mass for gravity to act on.
Yeah.
Even just the location. You want to talk about how the location was essential to a lot of early seasons. There is no other location that's like Survivor China. Like, that's a very, very unique location.
It is super unique.
They started in the temple.
Yeah, they started.
And there was that one lady who like freaked out and wouldn't go in because she was Christian, I think.
Yes.
And she would like refuse to like be around any other religion.
It's a good season.
Yeah.
I think.
A, you don't want to move it to S. You're sticking with A.
I think it should be A.
Okay.
Just because of like, I do think it's memorable and I think it was enjoyable, and obviously like we're combining like our thoughts, right? Because probably if I was doing this by myself, I might have put it in like B.
I'm not putting it in B.
Okay.
A is the lowest I'll go.
I think A is good.
Alright. Survivor Micronesia, fan first favorites.
I feel like this is S.
S? Really? I was thinking A.
Okay, let's
See,
talk about it.
I think China is better than Micronesia. Micronesia was a fantastic season. We have a fantastic season, fantastic winner, a lot of iconic moments. But I don't know. I feel like it's the same level as China. I'm gonna take that back. I feel like it's the same level where I could see it S or A.
I really like this season. Like seeing the fans get destroyed is like very funny. You have the moment with like that's not an immunity idol. It's a f***ing stick.
That's true. That's true. And the challenge where Chet got like dragged around like, the whole time. That was great. I mean, we have to talk about Eric giving up immunity. Like, you can't talk about Micronesia without talking about Eric giving up immunity.
People always talk about how stupid Eric is and how bad of a move it was, and obviously, like, it wasn't a good move, but I think you really have to give credit to Suri and Parvati and the other girl that, like, convinced him to do it, Natalie, because that is an insane amount of persuasion that it takes to get someone to do that.
That's the type of thing that's like, you try anything because it's Survivor and you have to, like, if your neck's on the line, you do anything you can, you never expect it to work. So for that to, like, actually have worked, like, you can see it on their faces, like, they were not expecting that to actually work.
Yeah,
Alright, I think it's S. I think you've convinced me. I'll put it in S. Survivor Gabon. I feel like this one's pretty divisive. I feel like a lot of people like it because of how, like, mean-spirited the whole thing was, and I think a lot of people dislike it for the exact same reason. I liked Bob because he taught physics and I teach physics. And I don't remember what the joke was, but he made some kind of like physics joke, and then afterwards he was like, haha, little joke. And I was like, that's something I would say. That's great. I love this guy.
This season has such an eclectic cast of characters.
A lot of assholes, to like put it, for lack of a better word. I mean, Corinne sucks. Hate her.
Yeah.
Randy. Randy sucks, but I kind of find him funny.
No, I like both
Like
of them. I
in
thought
the
they added
in the
something.
same way where like Michael Rappaport on The Traitors, like you hate him, but he's kind of funny in the fact that he's such like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Randy was kind of the same way. You had what was her name? Crystal, right? The Olympic athlete who hated. I think it was when she voted out Randy. She hated him so much she was like screaming at the camera and they could hear her at Tribal.
Oh yeah.
You had Kenny who played Smash Melee.
Yes.
So I'm sure not showering for 39 days wasn't anything new to him.
This is a really good season.
I like it. I don't know if I like it enough to put it in A tier. I think I would put it in B tier.
We haven't really talked about Sugar. And
Yeah.
I know, like, obviously...
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. The speech, was it Corinne? It had to be Corinne. The final tribal speech, where she
Yeah.
said something like, the only thing I would vote to give you is a bottle of antidepressants so you could stop crying about your dead father.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ,
That
man.
definitely it had a very memorable final tribal.
Not for good reasons, though. Like, I feel like, yes, it's iconic, but it's not iconic like that was so, like, great and funny and I love that. It's, like, iconic and, like, that was messy as hell and I was kind of cringing as I watched it.
I get that. I feel like I was also kind of here for it, but like I really like Sugar. I thought her entire arc was really interesting. I know she like cried a lot, and a lot of the cast I think found it difficult to be with her because
To
of
be
that.
fair, I would cry a lot too if I was stuck with Corinne and Randy for
Yeah,
39
I can't
days.
even imagine. And she had her sugar shack where she was literally
Oh,
just chilling
Exile
there.
Island.
She was just chilling there eating fruit because
Yeah.
they kept sending her. But she had some really good strategic moves. Yeah, I think you can put this like in B.
Alright, Tocantins, A or S? I'm thinking A. I don't know if it's
This
quite
is
an
tough.
S, but I
This
mean,
is a good one.
we talk about iconic personalities, Coach, Tyson, JT, Steven Fishback. I mean,
This is a really good season.
it's a very good season. I mean, you got like the dynamic of Steven and JT working really close. One was like the challenge beast, the guy that was liked by everyone, very good social game, and then you had Steven who was the brains of the operation, and the two of them working together just kind of controlled the whole thing. You have the good personalities. You've got Tyson, who was like the funny one. You've got Coach, who was the funny one, but he didn't know it. Either way, you're in good company with S or A, but if I'm comparing it to the other seasons, I feel like it's more comparable to China, Panama,
Okay,
and Cook
yeah.
Islands than it is to Amazon, Pearl Islands, All-Stars, and Micronesia. Like, it's very, very good. I just wouldn't personally say it's, like, top 5 best of the best. You know?
Okay, yeah. No, I agree.
Samoa. This is an interesting one. I would say it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say one of the biggest villain Survivor has ever seen, Russell Hantz. I will say, like you were saying, change the game, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I mean, they don't get clues to hidden immunity idols anymore, and it's definitely because of Russell Hantz. Not to feed his ego any more than it already is, but if we're ranking the season as a whole, outside of Russell Hantz, what did it have? Not much, right?
Not much.
And yes, it's enjoyable because you're rooting against him the entire time and he gets what he deserves in the end. And it did kind of evolve the game not only with finding idols without clues, but also in kind of like All-Stars, you gotta learn about jury management, which is the one thing that Russell, through 2 seasons, or through 3 seasons, could never get through his head, is if you play like that, the jury's never gonna vote for you. But outside of that, I don't really love this season.
I'm gonna say D.
D.
C or D?
C. I don't know if I put it in D. I feel like more like C.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, it's the type of thing where I feel like you're looking at Survivor as like a 50-chapter story. If you skip chapter 19, you're gonna be missing kind of a crucial element to the story. And that's why I'm thinking more C than D.
No, I agree. Okay, that works for me. It's C.
Okay, I don't even know if we need to talk about that one. I think we can just put that in S tier and move on. Best season of Survivor ever, Heroes vs. Villains.
Is that contentious?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much universally agreed upon, except if you ask Jeff, because he hates villains as a concept. But I think if you ask the fans, I think Heroes vs. Villains is like just number 1.
It's a great season.
I mean, I said in All Stars, it was like one of the best casts. Heroes vs. Villains is the best cast. That is the
I
best
agree.
cast Survivor has ever seen.
Agree. I love the challenge they did where they were doing basically like wrestling on the sand with the bag, trying to drag it.
Coach,
And-
Coach used his hand, and then he thought he won, and he threw the thing. He's like, and Jeff was like, "No, Coach,
I
no."
wasn't even talking about that one.
Oh, you weren't talking
No,
about
that's
that
the one
one?
where they're on the platform and they have the
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
What were you
talking
talking
about
about?
the one on the sand where they had to bring the sandbag all the way. The one where
Oh, the one where
Danielle-
Coach like dogged Colby completely.
Yeah, Coach dogged Colby. We saw it. See, this is like it's the great thing about the clash of like the great Survivor players. And we have Danielle dislocating Stephanie's shoulder. We have Sandra pulling Sugar's top down. Or was that?
Yeah, that was-
Yeah, it was Sandra, right?
Yep.
An iconic moment. She just continues to run and then flips them off. That was f***ing awesome.
I mean, just talking about challenges in general, the way that they were set up, that a lot of the tribe challenges were 1v1. Like, the challenge... You talk about Heroes vs. Villains having the best cast. I think it's also in contention for having the best challenges out of any season. Just from start to finish, Heroes vs. Villains is the best season. There's like nothing bad you can say about it.
Yeah.
I feel like we
Let's
gotta
move on.
Yeah, I feel like we
Move on.
gotta move on. There's nothing else we can say. After the high of Heroes vs. Villains, I feel like no matter what season followed it up, it was gonna be a low point. Nicaragua is next. I don't really remember a whole lot about Nicaragua. I remember Fabio won. I remember he peed in the water in the middle of a challenge. That was weird. You've got some returners. I think Brenda, I think this was her first season, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I just asked you off camera what the season was, so I don't remember it at all. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna take myself out of this one. Except that the fact that it's not memorable tells you something. I think.
Right, I 100% agree, and I don't remember a lot about it.
I'm saying D.
I agree with you. I'm going D tier. I feel like, again, a lot of the D tiers are ones that they're not terrible. Like, you would enjoy watching them, but you could skip them, and it wouldn't be a huge deal. So, Redemption Island. I feel like we might have some controversial opinions on this one, but...
We might even disagree. I feel like we haven't talked about it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I mean, any season with Boston Rob in it is a good one for me. I feel like great confessionals, a lot of iconic lines. I love when he found the clue to the idol he already had, so he threw it in an active volcano. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he completely controlled the game, as he does, as you would expect him to do. Philip is a fantastic character. Honestly, I was disappointed he wasn't in season 50. I'd like to see him play again.
I would too.
You don't have fantastic gameplay this season. I'll say that, because he completely dominated the game and he was on a season with a bunch of people that weren't the best at the game. It wasn't super interesting and unexpected in that way, but I do feel like it was very entertaining. You had a lot of good personalities. There was a lot of funny moments. When he kept sending Matt to Redemption Island every single time was funny. I don't think the twist was particularly great, the twist of Redemption Island. I don't think we ever need to see that twist again. So I'm not going to say it's like a perfect season or even a great season, but I will say it's a good season. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but I personally think it's very entertaining.
I agree. It was entertaining to watch. I liked seeing Russell get his ass kicked.
I forgot
as
Russell
soon
was
as
on
his-
this season.
Yeah, as soon as this tribe lost. But again, he is fun to watch, and I would have really liked to see him and Boston Rob go head to head. I know they did maybe a little bit in Heroes vs. Villains, and
Tyson kind of screwed that whole
kinda
thing
screwed it
up.
up. But the difference between Rob and Russell is that Rob has class. But regardless, I think it would have been cool to see them go head to head, so that was a little disappointing. And looking at some of the other seasons we have high up, I would say this one's B or C.
I would agree, B or C. And I don't know if either high C or low B, because I'm just thinking about how much I enjoyed it. I feel like I enjoyed it similar to a lot of what we have in B tier.
Okay, B. Let's put it in B.
Okay. All right. So immediately following Redemption Island, we have the same twist with the same kind of idea. Coach and Ozzy with South Pacific. It's basically just Redemption Island 2 with two players that are not as interesting to watch, in my opinion.
Did they already hate each other before this point?
No, this
They
is
didn't,
this
right?
is where
This
they
is the
hated
birth.
each other. Yeah, this is the birth of a rivalry that carried into season 50.
Yes, but before they had never played before.
No, I don't believe.
Right, so this is the origin of their beef.
Yes.
Who else is in this season? It was a bunch
Sophie won. I think this was Cochran's first season, I believe.
If you like Coach, I think you'd like this season. I think it's fun.
I feel like it's on par with Redemption Island, in my opinion.
I don't think it's B.
You think it's worse than Redemption
I think
Island?
I don't know. I think that Redemption Island should have gotten C, but
Like, I feel like it's the same twist. I feel like you just have less entertaining cast. Like, I like Cochran a lot. Coach is, like, entertaining until he gets annoying. I feel like outside of, like, Cook Islands and maybe Micronesia, I've never been a fan of Ozzy. Like, I feel like each time Ozzy plays, I like him less and less.
yeah.
I guess the same could be said for Coach. But,
I think this is C.
okay, I would agree with C.
Yeah.
Speaking of C tier, Survivor One World. I mean, we had a great winner, but I think that's all I can say about One World. I might even put it in D.
Remind me of one?
Kim.
Oh yeah, Kim's great.
Great
okay,
winner.
This is Kim's season.
We also had Colton on this season, which is big negative. We had Troyzan, I think, was on this season, and Tarzan, the guy who pooped his pants and then said,
Wait, they were both
"It's not poop, it's dirt."
They were both on the season.
They were both, yeah.
Oh
The only reason I remember that is because Troyzan had the confessional, like, he can't be Tarzan, my name is Troyzan. And I'm like, bro, both of your names are made up.
Yeah.
So...
I remember Tarzan, like, literally, like, eating his wife when she showed up.
I did not remember that, but...
Or they were really cute. I don't know. He was, like, literally crying, I think, when she showed up for the family visit.
Maybe.
Which, like,
I feel like he may have been a little bit senile. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he was older.
Yeah.
I think he was also at that, like, bucket stage of his life where he was, like, a plastic surgeon. He made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he was kind of just doing Survivor.
Yeah, but I don't think the twist of this season was good at all, to be honest. And maybe it's just
that they live on the same beach.
Yeah,
right?
maybe like with a different cast, it would have been more entertaining without like Colton constantly whining about how he wanted to be on the girls' tribe.
Yeah.
And then talking about how the only black person he knows is his housekeeper.
Yeah.
Why did they bring this man back? I don't know.
It was a different time.
I guess so. I don't
I
find
think
this
D.
season,
I think this
particularly
season's D.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
Philippines. That was Malcolm and Denise, and that's all I really remember about Survivor Philippines.
What do I remember about the Philippines? Denise is cool. Denise
Yeah.
did a good job.
Yeah.
They were on the bottom a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And came back.
And they did.
Who
Who
else is in that season?
Who else is on the season? I don't know, which is why I'm gonna say probably D tier.
This is the one where they had the returners who had got medevaced. So you
Oh,
had
yeah, Penners, yeah,
You had Scoopin. You had Russell.
But like, I feel like that just goes to show a season with returners, some of who were good. I like Penner a lot.
Yeah.
Like, was that forgettable? You know?
Okay, I'm gonna say counterpoint. These are the seasons where we start getting the location really removed from like the gameplay and the actual Survivor. Because when you said the Philippines, I had no memory of like any shots of the Philippines, any like history about the Philippines, anything like that. I couldn't have told you it was the season with the returners and the medevacs.
Yeah.
It should have been like Survivor medevacs.
Same idea for like the last few seasons, I feel like.
Yeah, it really started even with like South Pacific. Like there's no tie really to that. They were just on an
Redemption Island.
Redemption Island.
Heroes versus villains, even.
Exactly. Those seasons like are more memorable because of the theme. But this one is Survivor Philippines, and I don't remember anything about the Philippines.
I feel like it's more on par
D.
with Guatemala, Fiji, Vanuatu, Nicaragua, and One World.
Yeah, I think it's D.
All right. Survivor Fans versus Favorites 2. Not as good as the first. I think we can get that out of the way right away. I like Cochran. It was great to see him like win an immunity challenge. The alliance with the three amigos was pretty entertaining. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen Reynold or what was the other guy, Eddie, that we haven't seen them come back. So I thought they were entertaining.
Is this the one where Brendan had to be escorted out of the game?
Oh, Brandon Hands.
Brandon Hands.
Yeah, what season? This was his second season.
Yeah.
What season was his first season?
I don't see. We didn't even remember.
We didn't even remember.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, he almost killed Philip.
Yeah, it was Philip.
Yeah, I'll piss in the rice. I'll piss in the beans. I will burn this camp to the ground.
I feel like that whole dynamic made this one interesting.
It was interesting, but I feel like that's the only time in Survivor where Jeff was genuinely scared that somebody was about to be assaulted on the show.
I think this is a good season. Like, I think Cochrane was good, but the season's, like, not that memorable.
No, it was very entertaining, but I'm thinking,
as
like,
all returner
B.
seasons are.
Yeah, I feel like it's B. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be A. I'm in between A and B.
I would have put it lower.
Really? I feel like it's got to be better than... Really? You would have gone to C? I feel like it's better than a lot of what we have in B.
Okay, I think B or C.
Okay, we can put it in B.
Okay.
Blood vs. Water. I feel like that's better. I feel like that one we're looking more at like an A. Yeah, returners, and then on the other tribe were their loved ones. It had Redemption Island in it, and you could like sacrifice yourself for your loved one. Like Rupert was supposed to be. Well, he wasn't supposed to be in it. He was in it, but his wife got voted out first. But his wife got voted out at the marooning. There was no challenge. There was no nothing. She was like voted out immediately, and then Rupert took her place. And then he went to Redemption Island and lost immediately, and he was out. And his wife, no offense, was terrible at Survivor. She's just awful. Like, she didn't understand the game at all. And that was like, as much as I like this season, I feel like it was so hard to watch. Right? Because she didn't get the social part of the game at all, and when they tried to, like, clue her in on something, she, like, went and told someone that they were going to vote her out, or vote him out. I don't remember who it was. Like, I feel like I'm remembering when I said I liked it, the latter half of the game where Tyson, like, kind of took over after his girlfriend was voted out. But now that I'm thinking more about it, I did kind of cringe a lot in the beginning of the game.
I don't know. I feel like this is maybe, like, I don't know if it's, like, on par with Fans vs. Favorites 2.
I think it might be.
Slightly lower.
Yeah,
I think it's a C.
You think it's a C?
What do you think it is? B?
I'd say either B or C. I mean, I liked the twist. I will say that. I liked the twist a lot better than a lot of the twists in seasons before this. I think having the idea of, like, having a loved one with you, and that kind of ties in the game, and the fact that, like, what happens on the other beach is, like, super impactful to what happens on yours. I thought that was pretty interesting. So that's why I'm thinking
I agree.
B.
I think we can put it in B.
Okay. I think this one's gonna be pretty easy. Just move that on up to S tier. Kegion.
It's a good one.
I mean, Tony. Like, you can't. Like, yeah, he kind of played like an asshole this season, but not like a Russell Hantz asshole, like a lovable asshole, you know? Like, he was going around making fun of everyone. He made a spy shack. He found idols. He said that one person spoke llama, and then he went.
They did Brains versus Brawn
versus
Beauty.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not called that.
And the Brain Tribe completely imploded, and that one girl threw out the rice. They should have voted her out, and they didn't, and then she threw out the rice.
Chatia.
Yeah, and then they were like, we should have voted her out.
And this is on with Cass,
and
too.
Cass, who was like,
yeah, it was a very entertaining scene.
Yeah.
I think A or S.
I mean, even the final tribal with that one girl who kind of looked like Skeletor. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. Who like worked with? She was on the Brawn Tribe with Tony, and she was like, "You swore like on your kids and on your like family," and she's like, "I want to know like, is it worth it? The $1 million?" And he looked her in the face and he went, "Yes, it's worth it." Like, come on, like that's great.
Yeah, I think it's A.
Yeah, not S. You think it's A, not S? I mean, look at the seasons that are in A. I think it's better than China. I think it's better than Exile Island. I think it's better than Cook Islands. I think it's better than Tocantins.
Okay.
I would say it's better than Pearl Islands, which we have in S. I would say it's better than All Stars, which we have in S.
You think it's better than All Stars?
All Stars is always going to have a special place in my heart, but if we're looking with a shred of objectivity, I think objectively it is better than All Stars. Alright, Blood vs. Water 2, also known as San Juan del Sur. If we're going to talk about memorable personalities, Keith, may he rest, one of my favorite survivors. Just because of like how out of place he was. Like, I don't know if it was this season or I think was he on Second Chance? He was either on Second Chance or Game Changers, but one of the seasons he was like, people ask me if Survivor is fun. No, this isn't fun. Going on vacation is fun. This sucks. Like,
yeah, this is a good season.
Yeah.
I think both the Blood versus Waters are good.
I think this one might be better than the first one.
I agree. Where do we have the first one?
The first one we have in B tier. So I would say either B or A. There was that couple that wouldn't stop fighting. John and what was her name? Oh, I remember his name was John. Yeah, because she was like, "You don't know John. Don't act like you know John." Well, I don't remember her name. But
I think this one's also B.
Yeah, I would say it. Like, I think it's better than some of the other ones that we have in B, but I don't think it's good enough to push into A.
Agree.
So I'll put it high in B. All right, Survivor Worlds Apart. Was this the one with blue collar, no collar, white collar?
Yeah.
I didn't like this one.
The one that Mike won?
Yeah, I didn't like this one.
You didn't like it?
This, with Dan, where he said something about, like, your mom's a whore.
Oh, yeah, he did say
And
that.
Rodney, who was very, like, New Jersey. I don't know if he's actually from New Jersey, but...
Yeah, I feel like this one is, like, C or D.
Yeah.
Maybe D.
I feel like it's D.
I know a lot of people say that, like, Mike's grading voice. The guy that worked on, like, he worked on an oil rig.
Yeah.
He
named the tribe Murica.
That was funny.
Like, the worst merged tribe name ever. This is the first season with Joe, who people liked, who I think is just like Malcolm, but worse. Like, he's at least like Malcolm in the sense that, like, he's got the long hair and women think he's attractive, but at least Malcolm had a personality. I feel like Joe had no personality, and they only cast him 3 times because he was hot.
He's definitely hot.
I don't know. I don't like long hair on men.
Yeah, I think...
Anyway, that's not relevant. D tier?
D, yeah.
Okay. Alright, Second Chance was the one with people that, like, deserved to be there because they were voted on by the fans. Game Changers is the one where none of them were actually game changers. It was like the most random returner cast ever assembled. I think Second Chance should be A tier. That's the one that Jeremy won. Spencer was on that season. Stephen Fishback was on that season. Andrew Savage was on that season. Who else was voted in?
Fishback's on the season?
Yeah. I think he made it pretty far.
I don't see him.
He was definitely a jury member.
Yeah, this season was really good, and the gameplay was really interesting. And he coined the term of voting blocks, which everyone was like, "That's
everyone was like,
be...
"What? What do you mean?" Like I think he word for word said, "We're in a new evolution of the game where we're shifting from alliances to voting blocks," and that's exactly what happened. So the gameplay was fantastic, and I think it kind of shows why the fan input actually matters. I know we're jumping ahead to season 50 right now, where it's in the hands of the fans, but we can't control anything, and Jeff does what Jeff wants to do anyway. And I think Second Chance is a perfect example of why you should listen to the fans, because I think having the fans vote on the cast is what made this a good season.
Yeah. She voted out her mom!
Does that count as part of the season? Because that was technically at the end of the last season when he was announcing the cast.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of, like, the lore, but I think this is A.
I would agree. I think this is A. Alright, Survivor Korong. Aubrey didn't win. Mm-hmm. Michelle won. Controversial. What else can you say? Ty was there. He was cool.
I like this season. I didn't like the butthurt men at the end. Didn't love that. I still think that, like, obviously, like, Michelle won, and I think in Winners at War, we got to see more of, like, her game and how she plays, and she definitely, like, proved herself to be a good player if she hadn't proved it the first time. I think, like, this is an interesting example of, and it kind of, we see it with Sugar, too, but Survivors 2 talking about the difference between the edit that we see and what actually happened, because Aubrey got a really good edit, and I do think, like, taking the sum of all the things she did, I think she played very well, but I think they kind of edited it in her favor and they showed less of Michelle.
Yeah.
So I thought this season was enjoyable to watch, though. Ty with his chickens.
Oh, I forgot about the chickens.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would consider it one of my top seasons, but there were some good moments. There was some good gameplay. There were also some bad moments, and I don't know, not super memorable. I feel like I would put it like C. That's what I was thinking. C.
Yeah.
All right, Millennials versus Gen X. Do you wanna? You kind of scoffed at the title here, so I'll let you lead.
No, I didn't. Okay, I think we have an unpopular opinion this season. liked it, and I don't think that the idea is bad. I just, like, this season annoyed me, and I don't know if I can put my finger on why. What's the guy? Dave? Is that his name? No, who's
the scrawny guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his name was David.
David, yeah.
David, yeah.
I think he had a really interesting arc.
Yeah. I don't know. The season doesn't really stand out that much to me.
I think it's D.
Yeah,
I think it's D tier.
You think it's D, not C? You're on down to D?
I don't remember any. Do you remember, like, a memorable moment?
I remember when Ken said he didn't like being compared to a Ken doll because he doesn't want to be compared to something with no penis. That was a good moment. But yeah, other than that,
was a good moment.
No. The most memorable moment from Adam the Winner is in Winners at War when he tries to play the tribal council podium.
I think the whole, like, Gen X being like, millennials don't work, like, yada yada yada, I think that is tired and annoying. I think that's what annoyed me about this season, was there were a lot of those stereotypes.
And we're not even millennials, we're Gen Z, so... Alright, I'll put it in D. Alright, Game Changers. The season where none of the cast was actually game changers. I mean, you got Suri and Tony and Sandra.
And Ozzy.
Alright, so you've got like 4 game changers, and then you've got the most random group of returners. Like, a lot of them I don't even remember. Like, I couldn't even list a lot of the returning players because it's so random. I remember when we watched this season, Haley, I literally had to look her up because I had no idea who she was. You've got Ty, right? Not a game changer. Shouldn't be there. Jeff Varner, who in this season outs someone as trans. Like, why is he there in the first place? You got Sarah, who ended up winning, which is, like, she played a great game this season. I don't know if I'd consider her a game changer. Her season, she played very closely with Tony, and I feel like didn't have a lot of good moves.
I think they just brought her on
because they liked her.
No, because she, like, got screwed over by Tony, and they wanted, like, a little bit of that.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where they knew Tony was coming back, so they wanted her to, like, compliment him.
It's
the same way they brought back Francesca to be with Philip in Fans vs. Favorites too.
Or how, like, Colby and
Jerry
have to be in
except for season 50.
Which was sad. She should have been there.
She should have. But anyway, yeah, Game Changers, I just feel like the cast was not what it could have been.
I think the season's C.
Yeah, this is... we can't talk about this season without talking about Suri being voted out without a single vote cast against her.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about how, like, terrible moment with Varner outing Zeke. Another terrible moment with one of the game's best players being voted out without being voted out. Like, just a terrible season, honestly.
Do you think C or D? You've talked yourself into D.
I feel like I'm talking myself into D. I feel like the most memorable moments are all bad ones.
If you look at the other seasons we have in D, though.
It is memorable, and even though the moments were bad, I feel like they are kind of entertaining, I guess.
I feel like it was more entertaining to watch than
the
ones
C?
Yeah, C.
Alright. Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. I don't remember very much. I remember Ben only won because they introduced Fire. He was going to be voted out, but then there was fire making, and he didn't, and he won. I remember there was that guy, Ryan, who was really skinny, and his face kind of looked like a lizard. Chrissy was there.
Yep, this is where we got Chrissy.
That's all I remember.
I'm looking at a picture of the cast, and...
That's it. We're not missing anyone important.
I really don't remember most of these people.
Alright, so D tier?
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on. Ghost Island. I liked the idea, right? Like
all the old...
Right, all the old twists coming back to haunt you, like the stick from Micronesia and James' cool. 2 idols, and I think the idea was really cool. We had 2 really dominant players, Dominic and Wendell, just like locked down the whole thing. I think what really kind of holds Ghost Island back is the cast. Mm-hmm. Outside of Dominic and Wendell, I couldn't tell you a single other person that was on this season. And I think that same twist with a more entertaining cast might have been like a very good season. But I just don't remember a whole lot about it. I think it's kind of like a middle of the road season.
We're saying middle of the road, but I feel like it's D.
Not C, D. Yeah. I mean, you look
like
what's in C. I think it's got to be D. All right, another quick one. All right, speaking of quick ones, David versus Goliath. I think we can both agree is S tier.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's one of my favorites.
The theme, I thought I was going to hate, but I ended up loving it. The cast is fantastic.
It's a really good cast.
Yeah, I think the difference between David vs. Goliath and Ghost Island isn't anything to do with the themes of either season. I think it's the cast. I think if you took the David vs. Goliath cast and put them on Ghost Island would be a fantastic season. You know, I think Christian, fantastic. One of my favorite Survivor players of all time. Angelina asking for Natalie's jacket is one of the most iconic moments in Survivor history. Mike White, I might get some hate for this. I'm not a huge fan. Yeah.
I didn't think Mike White was bad. I think he did play a good game.
Yeah, I think he played a good game, but I think he had a little bit of arrogance about him that I didn't like. That's kind of like my number one pet peeve, is like arrogance. And I feel like he didn't really play a good enough game to be as arrogant about it as he was.
If you can just, like, all be honest with yourselves and just, like, forget that White Lotus exists, I feel like everyone would, like, agree that he's not the best. Like, he was good for one season. I don't think he needed to return. I did find him, like, sometimes interesting to watch, but he made it to the end and he didn't win. So it's not like he was like, oh my god, this amazing player that, like, should have won. He made it to the end and they didn't want him, so...
This season also had the first and I think only use of the idol nullifier, which I thought was an interesting twist. I'm surprised that they haven't brought that back. They might have thought it was too overpowered, which, like, it kind of is. Like, if you have the majority vote, even if you're unsure if someone has an idol or if they're going to play it, you can just use the nullifier on them and they're guaranteed to go home. So maybe that's why they haven't brought it back. But I just think the bing is also a pretty iconic moment after that was played. So... S tier.
Yeah, S tier. That's a true testament to the fact that it was a theme that wasn't really related to twists or gameplay, and you had an excellent cast. You have an excellent season. That's really what makes it.
Well, I mean, that's if you look at what we have in S tier, like, it's not the themes of these seasons that make them good. It's the cast.
Yeah.
Every single one of these seasons has a fantastic cast, which is why it's S tier. Survivor Edge of Extinction. I like Rick Devens. I can say that.
I also like Rick Devens. I don't like this season, mainly because of... I mean, I thought it was interesting. This is the only season where everyone stays to the finale except...
the people that left.
The people that left, which was like... The fact that everyone who wanted to be basically this season got to be on the jury, I don't know if I love that, especially, like, people that really, like, didn't get deep in the game. I think it's, like, really hard for them to pick the proper winner, and... in my opinion, this season, I don't think that the jury, and because I think I contest who was on the jury, so you can say, like, the jury always picks the winner, but the jury didn't play a lot of the game, and they spent a lot of time on Edge of Extinction.
That kind of factors into it is the jury was on Edge of Extinction, and so was the person who won. So the people on Edge of Extinction didn't really see the main game. They just got to know the guy that happened to win and end up back in the game.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know if this is blasphemy to say, I feel like this season isn't Survivor. I feel like there's, like, a completely different game being played here, and it's not Survivor.
Yeah, I don't like Edge of Extinction as a concept. I know they did it again in Winners at War, and didn't like that either. I think this is D.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense as a twist for Winners at War because you want to keep your big personalities around for longer. Which I guess makes sense because Winners at War is famous for having a bad boot order, right? All the old school players got voted out first. Mm-hmm. So I understand it for that, but just for, like, a newbie season, yeah, D tier. Alright, Survivor Island of the Idols. What do we remember from this one? Big heads of Rob and Sandra. Somebody got kicked out for being inappropriate towards women. That's all I remember.
I feel like it has to go D.
Yeah,
even though it was fun to watch, it was fun because of Rob.
It was fun because of Rob and Sandra. And, like, I liked that, like, they sat in on Tribal and, like, were whispering about how bad the players were playing. And I like that there was that one quote of the guy that was so flustered. Rob asked where he was from and he didn't respond. And then Rob was like, "You don't know where you're from?"
Yeah.
That was cool. But D tier.
Yeah.
Sorry. Winners at War. I mean... you got a lot of iconic players, right? You've got a pretty good cast. Unfortunately, you have a terrible boot order, right? A lot of, like, the big names, the old school players went home early, so it kind of fizzled out towards the end.
And in the end, unlike a Redemption Island or even Edge of Extinction, because Chris won his way, right? It was a challenge that he got to come back in Edge of Extinction.
Yes. Oh, the fire tokens.
It was the fire tokens.
I forgot about the fire tokens.
And the fire tokens were stupid. And we don't really love Natalie that much. Not that she's like a bad player. She's like, she has a very, I think,
strong personality.
Yeah. And like she's a very like aggressive gameplay, and that's not like a bad thing. It's just like, I guess I was rooting for like certain other people to come back.
She was rooting for Boston Rob.
Yeah,
to come back.
I wanted Boston Rob to come back. She had a lot of fire tokens, so she got an extreme advantage.
To be fair, I think she earned them, right? There were a lot of challenges on Edge of Extinction that you earned the tokens for.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe I'm just mad because it didn't turn out the way I wanted, but
yeah,
I didn't love the fire token.
I mean, I just don't like Edge of Extinction as a concept. Like the same thing that we were just saying about if you get voted out, you shouldn't be able to win. Especially Natalie was the first one voted out.
Yeah.
And she thought she was gonna win. She thought she was gonna win, and I'm sorry, you can't be the first person voted out of Survivor and then win the game. You didn't play 90% of the game, and you're in the final 3 now? Like, I just don't like that as an idea. I think it's really, really dumb.
Yeah, Survivor is great on its own. It doesn't need a gimmick. It doesn't need, like, it can have interesting twists and it can have idols and stuff, but there comes a point it doesn't need these gimmicks, and they actually end up messing up the game. As like we'll talk about season 50, but it gets to a certain point where it's like no longer fun to watch, and it actually detracts from what Survivor is and like letting good players play. So and I think this season has a little bit of that. It was very entertaining to see winners come back.
Yep.
But yeah.
All that being said, B or C? I think I'm leaning towards B.
I think B too. I also liked that Tony came back and played a different game and still won. I think that's.
It was very different from his first time around, and that's the only way he could have won.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's just another. It's showcasing him as a great player.
Yeah. All right, the shit has hit the fan.
Here we are in the
Survivor 41, first season of the new era, first season affected by COVID. Well, I guess Winners at War, the finale, was affected by COVID, but. I did not like this season at all.
There were a lot of people I think that I disliked.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. And I think that this season... I think it's also like a product of the year it was produced. And
yeah,
I think there was a lot of like still anxiety in the world. And they just wanted to produce something that was good and lighthearted. And it ended up being... not exactly like Survivor. Like, they didn't want to villainize anyone. They didn't want to tell, like, a story that was in any way, like, complicated. They just really wanted it to be, like, cut and dry. Survivor is good. Survivor is uplifting. And, like, it is. But, like, it was a little one-dimensional, I think, is my biggest critique, just because of the time that it was produced.
Yeah, and I think I haven't rewatched the season because I didn't like it, but I think if I did go back and rewatch it, I would probably like it more than I did the first time. I think because it was such a huge departure from what we were used to, it left like a really bad taste in my mouth.
Agreed, yeah.
I don't know. They changed a lot. They introduced the beware advantages, which I still don't like at all. They introduced losing your vote, which is one of my least favorite things about the new era. I made an entire video on that. Watch it if you haven't already. Plug. But
yeah, I don't like losing your vote.
I just feel like they tried to do a lot, and all of it kind of fell flat, in my opinion. I don't know if this is controversial. I think this might be our second F tier.
Ooh.
I don't like it as much as anything that's in D tier. I like it more than Thailand, but I don't like it better than anything that's in D tier. That's why I'm thinking F.
I think I would agree with that.
Alright, Survivor 42 was kind of the same thing as 41. I think it was kind of designed to be that way because it was filmed right after, so they did the same twists, and the whole like spin on it was that they haven't seen 41 yet, so it's the same twist, but it's a different cast, so it's different. But it still sucks.
This one had a better cast.
I agree.
You had Jonathan, you had Marianne.
Well, I don't really like Jonathan, but I like Marianne.
No, Jonathan was entertaining to watch, though. You have Omar. I think he was my favorite from that season.
I was surprised he wasn't in 50.
Yeah,
I think he should have been in 50.
As as a good strategist from
Yes.
New Era. Other than that, like, this season also, I think, had a lot of the downfalls that 41 had. I wouldn't put it an F though. I think it's
I would bump it up to D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same structure as 41. I think it just had a slightly better cast. So 43 I think was a bit better. I think they learned a little bit from the airing of 41, 42. It had a lot of like the Beware advantages and the same stuff, but I do think the cast was better. I think the way that they implemented some of the twists might have been a bit better. If I'm being honest, a lot of the 40s kind of blur together in my mind.
I would agree. Separated but more by cast than by twist. We really like Jesse.
Yes. Again, snubbed for 50. Why was Jesse not in 50?
But anyway, yeah, good, not great. I still think it's
C or D.
D.
D, yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the new era is kind of lacking, in my opinion. 44, that has, Carolyn, Jam,
this
Carson.
one's better.
This one I liked a bit more. I think this was the first time that I was like, all right.
Our faith in Survivor was being restored. This one, I think.
From the first episode, from like his opening confessional, Jam, he's like, I can't wait to see Jeff Poopy in the ocean. Yeah. I was like, all right, I like this guy. We've got a good cast, which I feel like we didn't have in 41, 42, or 43.
I think this is C.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better compared to the past few seasons. I still don't think it's up to like the standard of the Survivor that we were used to pre-season 40.
Yeah, this season was really enjoyable to watch, though.
Yes. I would agree with C. 45, I think, was the first time in the new era where the gameplay was actually decent. I liked a lot of the cast. I liked Dee. I liked Drew. Austin was cool. Emily, definitely. How could I forget Emily? Caleb hitting the shot in the dark. We haven't talked about shot in the dark at all yet. Shot in the dark is the one twist from the new era that I actually don't mind. I kind of like it because it adds to the fact, like, one of like the main rules of Survivor is never tell the person that you're voting for them. Never tell them they're going home. And I think having the shot in the dark is kind of like an extra layer of that, where you have to be super careful because everyone always has some weapon, right? It's never like a type of thing where it's like, we hate this person so much, we're just going to tell them to their face, you're going home because we all hate you and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, there's always something that can be done, so there's always some reason to be careful.
I think this one could also go C.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely better than 44, but I don't know if it would push into B.
Yeah,
so
I think it's C.
I would agree with C. 46, I actually really like. I think 46 is my favorite of the new era. I think the cast of 46 is great.
Yes.
Q is great. Charlie is great. Banu was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think the thing there, I feel like Banu had the potential to be very, very annoying. I think he was voted out at a perfect time. Like, just enough that he was endearing and funny, and not to the point where he was annoying. Mm-hmm. Who else? I liked Tevin a lot. I thought he was cool. Hunter was cool. Venus, I found her kind of annoying, but kind of in an endearing way. You know, like a good villain type.
Yeah, Ben. You say Ben and Charlie?
Oh, I said Charlie. Ben, I'm kind of indifferent about.
Their relationship.
I think, they had a cool friendship. I liked like the scene of them like naming songs back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel like 46 was a lot more lighthearted. You know, it was kind of that thing that you were mentioning, I think, with All Stars, where everyone was actually having a good time. And I think when the cast of Survivor is like having a good time, you as a viewer are having a good time. And that's one of the things that I really liked about 46.
Liz.
Oh, how could we forget the Applebee's?
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
This is a good.
This is a good
B.
season.
I think this season's
I would
B.
put it, in B. I would agree. I like 46 a lot. 47 I also liked. 47 wasn't as kind of like fun and funny as 46, but 47 I feel like has some of the best gameplay out of the new era. Andy, who we both thought was going home first because it was like panic attack on day one, and then him not only making it far, but spearheading Operation Italy, one of like the best moves of the new era.
Yeah, Operation Italy was great. Love Genevieve. I liked her arc too.
Yeah. Would have loved to see her more in 50, but we'll get to that.
Oh my god, don't even get me started.
Rome, how could we forget Rome, the biggest villain of the new era? He was trying to bully Saul.
Yeah,
he was like, "Give me your shot in the dark. Otherwise, I have an idol." Or did he have an idol? I think he had an idol. Or he had a block a vote. He had a block a vote. That's what it was. He was like, "Give me your shot in the dark, or I'm using my block a vote on you, and you can't use it anyway, and you're going home." And Saul was like, are you blackmailing me right now, dude? Like, yeah. 47 was good. 47, I would say, is probably on par with 46 for me. I would say B. Really?
Oh, B.
I was thinking B. I feel like 46 and 47.
Okay.
46-7. That's still a thing, right, guys?
Yeah, I think you can put it in B.
I would put it in B. 48, D or F? Let's just open with that, D or F. 48 was honor, integrity, big buff guy alliance. Joe doesn't understand Survivor. That's a theme in 48 and 50. You got, what was his name? David, who was like pissed and he stood in silence when Mary was voted out, like a big tough guy.
I feel like this season was still kind of fun to watch, but yeah, there was much more annoying.
I will say, it's the only time Survivor's made me cry, that moment with Joe and Eva, where Jeff also cried. That was a good moment, but like, one good moment does not make a good season of Survivor.
I really shout out to Shaheen. I thought he was really funny.
I did. I'm surprised he wasn't in 50. I would much rather have had Shaheen instead of Joe on season 50.
Yeah. I still I don't know. I like Kyle. I like Mitch.
Yeah.
I think this season is C.
C, I don't know if I put it high as C. The gameplay was terrible. Kyle and Camilla were the only ones playing the game.
Yeah, but they were doing really well.
They were doing really well because no one else was playing Survivor. They were just being like, we're buff guys and we love each other and everything's honor and integrity. And that's all they did. I think David accused Joe of lying, even though Joe didn't lie. And then they got in like a dick measuring contest about who was more honorable and who had bigger pecs. And like, it was terrible. I'm sorry. It was a bad season. I won't, maybe not F, but I will go no higher than D.
Okay, I guess if you're not gonna put it
I will go no higher than D.
Okay.
49. That's all I have to say. I liked Rizzo sometimes, and sometimes he annoyed me because I don't like arrogance.
I didn't like this season.
Savannah annoyed me again because I don't like arrogance. Savannah and Rizzo kind of had the whole thing locked down because nobody knew how to flush an idol or really play Survivor.
Can we put this season in F?
You want to put it in F?
Yes.
You think 48's better than 49?
Yes.
Interesting.
We were getting to Wednesday and we were like, we already know what's gonna happen. Like, it was very predictable.
It was bad. I liked Steven a lot. He gave me the idea for a video, and then he actually watched the YouTube video, which was crazy, and he left a comment.
Yeah. I like
so he's
Steven.
Cool. I liked Sage sometimes, but again, sometimes she annoyed me. I feel like, apart from Steven, everyone else that I kind of liked also kind of annoyed me at times. I feel like it was a very, very predictable season. I feel like the level of gameplay wasn't high.
I think we should put it in D. Because
I would agree with D.
It's on the same level as
48. Alright, last but not least, Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans. I don't know. This one's definitely better than 48 and 49. I think it started off really strong. I think there were just a lot of odd choices that really took away from it. Like, the Zach Brown episode sucked. The Jimmy Fallon twist sucked. The Blood Moon sucked. The Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol was not great. I think
the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, in my opinion, was the worst twist because it led to Genevieve found 2 idols and she didn't get to use either.
Yeah. Well, that's also why the Blood Moon sucked, because the Blood Moon is just we'll break you down into tiny tribes and it's just luck if you get with your allies or not. You know? It was terrible because if you look at the tribe, right? Aubrey and Genevieve, one of the big things early on was their feud. And Aubrey had no allies and Genevieve had all the allies. And if that tribe had gone to tribal council, Aubrey would have been gone pre-merge and she wouldn't have won the game. Yeah. But because of the twists, right? Because Genevieve found 2 idols that were never hers, and because they did a Blood Moon where they separated everyone into tiny tribes to vote someone out, Genevieve got screwed and she went home. And she had a much better game than Aubrey did. And the 2 of them on that tribe were going head to head. One of them was going home. So if there weren't all of these twists, right? If there were no Billie Eilish idols and they were regular idols, Aubrey would have gone instead of Genevieve. If there was no Blood Moon, Aubrey would have gone instead of Genevieve. And it would have been a vastly different game from what we ended up with, and in my opinion, a better game, because I think the boot order kind of made the last few episodes not great.
Obviously, we like Christian and Devins, and they
Yes,
made it around.
they carried the season.
So
right?
once they got voted out, it was definitely a tougher watch.
I mean,
and I don't,
Suri made it pretty far, which we
yeah,
liked.
Suri also, we love Suri. Suri also carried.
I think Suri saved the season. She was a good game player. Everything that she wanted to happen happened all the way up until she went home. So she was like the good gameplay, and then Christian and Devins were great for like entertainment and comedy and stuff like that. The Mr. Beast twist I actually didn't mind, just because the spotlight was really on Devins more than it was on Mr. Beast, unlike some other people. Zach Brown, I'm looking at you.
I think this season is really hard to rank because I found it very enjoyable to watch. And it was interesting too to see a lot of callbacks to like past Survivor 2. I loved how they showed clips from previous seasons. I love how they brought back like Aubrey's controversial season with Michelle's win. I love how they brought back the Aussie coach beef, at least like reference to it. They had a lot of clips from a lot of earlier seasons, which I enjoyed. It did feel like it was an homage to 50 Seasons of Survivor.
Jeff being sassy, like
yeah.
a compilation.
And I was skeptical because of the cast. Like, I think the cast could have been better? Yes. But I also think it's impossible to fit everyone that you want to into one season of Survivor anymore. I think this should go in B.
Yeah, I was thinking either B or C. I don't think it's better than Winners at War, but I think it's better than a lot of what we have in C. So
I think it's on par with Winners at War.
Yeah, I'd put it in B.
I really loved Colby's return, and I was very sad when he got voted out.
I think it suffered from the celebrity inclusions, absolutely. But I think it also suffered from the fact that they had a 24-person cast and they needed to we gotta get these people out of here if we're gonna fit everything in 26 days. I think it would have been a lot better if instead of having more people, you had more time for the people that you do have to shine. Because there were a lot of people that went early that were huge fan favorites that we didn't get to see a lot of. Like Q, we barely got to see. Colby, we barely got to see.
Yeah.
So
I think that the reason I like this season in B is despite the show running trying to make the season terrible, it was actually still enjoyable because of the cast.
Yeah.
I do think that they still had good picks, and even some people I was skeptical about coming back made it interesting. Like Q, I was like, is he gonna threaten to quit again? Is this gonna be annoying?
Well, I told people to vote him out, but
I know, but he was at least I feel like he was really entertaining in this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope me shading the showrunners doesn't affect your chances of getting on Survivor.
I don't think the showrunners are ever going to watch this video, I'm going to be honest. I say at the end of all of them, if you work at CBS, give me a call, and nobody's called me, so I don't think they've seen anything. All right, so how are we feeling about our final list? I feel pretty good about this. I don't think anything really needs to be moved. Do you think anything needs to be moved?
I think Island of the Idols can go in F. But
maybe. I think we're set on this, right? I think this is good.
Yeah, I think this is a good blend of what we both think.
Yeah.
It's not exactly probably how I would do it, but I'm happy with it. I don't feel like anything is really grossly out of place.
No. So, there you have it. Survivor tier list, all 50 seasons. So, I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me how I'm wrong in as many ways as you possibly can. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you work at CBS, give me a call. See you next time, everyone.